Hi guys, welcome back to Movie Chat and More, and if you're here for the very first time, welcome. My name's Richard, and today I want to talk about something that kind of irks me. It gets on my nerves. It's not necessarily going to be a rant video, but in a way it kind of is. Okay, let's get straight to it. Friday the 13th, okay? Friday the 13th, released in 1980, and after we see that at the beginning of the movie, we see the two counselors killed, as we know now, by Pamela Voorhees, yeah? In 1958, 1 year after Jason drowned. Okay. And then in 1980, or present day, as we see Alice on, the new cook on her way to the camp. In present day, which would have been 1980. The film was released in 1980, so present day. And unless I'm dreadfully mistaken, which I'm pretty positive I'm not, if you look at that scene at the beginning, after the flashbacks, and if you want to call them flashbacks or whatever, if you look at the scene when we first see Alice on her way to the camp, it says, we see it, June 13th, remember that, June 13th, present day, June 13th, present day. So, here's my beef with the tombstone we see in 1984's Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Friday the 13th, part 4, by and large. Now, we see the tombstone in Friday the 13th, part 4. For the first time, we find out what Mrs. Voorhees' name was. Her first name was Pamela Voorhees. And this birds are singing outside. It's never a bad thing. Anyway, we see the tombstone, and the date Pamela Voorhees was born, I believe, was 1935? That I stand to be corrected on. But the tombstone we see in Friday the 13th, the final chapter, it says 1979. Pamela Voorhees died in 1979, which would mean they are telling us that the events of Friday the 13th, part 1, were set in 1979, because that's when Pamela Voorhees died. No. Absolutely no. That is a mistake, or a goof, a conscious decision, maybe, that was just bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. Because, and I'm going to repeat myself, and I do apologize for that. You don't have to believe me. Check out the dates. June 13th, as we see at the beginning of, well, near the beginning, when we see Alice on her way to the camp, which she never gets there, but, we see the date. June 13th, present day. Present day. That movie was released in 1980, the same year I was born. June 13th, present day. And June 13th in 1980 was a Friday. Check it up. If you don't have to take my word for it, check it up to your heart's content and you'll see. I did it yesterday, I've done it before. I wanted to get my facts straight for this video because, it does. It gets on my nerves when I hear people say, oh no, the tombstone we see in Friday 4 is correct because the events of Friday the 13th, part 1 happened in 1979. No, they didn't. Now, if you, it was 1980. Now, if you want to go back and have a little look, which I've just done before making this video, which is probably going to take me fucking hours to upload, so I appreciate you watching. Yeah, we we have a look. June 13th, the 13th of June in 1979 was a Wednesday, not a Friday. So unless they decided to call this movie Friday the 13th for shits and giggles, then that then that means present day 1980, what, June 13th was 1980. Pamela Voorhees did not die in 1979. The events of Friday the 13th did not happen in 1979. They happened in present day 1980. It's simple mathematics. Mathematics, yeah? Maybe, yeah. It is. It is. Have a look for yourself if you don't believe me, because I am sick and tired of these YouTubers, not just YouTubers. You know, a lot of YouTubers claim the events of Friday 1 were, well, you know, the major events of Friday 1 were set in 1979. They weren't. But some YouTubers get it right. Some people are on the ball with what I'm saying right now. The tombstone in Friday 4 is, as we say here in the UK, bollocks. It's absolute bollocks. Pamela Voorhees died in 1980. If you want to check up the date, and I urge you to, if you doubt what I am saying, I urge you to check up the date. In 1979, June 13th was a Wednesday. So the tombstone we see in my favorite Friday film, which is Friday the 13th, the final chapter, Friday 4. It's my favorite one. But they get it wrong. Now, some YouTubers, and not just, like I say, not just YouTubers, people I talk to about this stuff, you know? I'm a big horror guy. If you're familiar with my channel, you will know that. And I pretty much know my shit. You know, I'm not an expert. Well, no, I'm not an expert. But I know my shit. But this, you don't even have to know much about the franchise to know what I'm saying is true. Go back, have a look at the dates, and you'll see. The tombstone we see in the final chapter, Pamela Voorhees, I think 1935, insignificant. But the date she died, the year she died, 1979, is pure bullshit. They've got it wrong. Now, this is, like I said, it's going to be kind of a rant video because this is something that gets on my nerves. It really does. I'm a massive Friday the 13th fan. You know, when it comes to like the original Paramount series, like 1 to Part 8. I'm not a massive fan of Part 7 or Part 8, but I love Part 5. I know you probably hate it. Well, you might love it. I don't know. Comment down below and let me know what you think of Friday the 13th Part 5, because I've never really met anybody who actually likes the film because it wasn't Jason. Anyway, that's all I'm here to say today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. My name is Richard. This has been Movie Chat and more, and hopefully I'll see all you guys very soon for maybe another watch-along video. We've had Friday the 13th Part 2 last week. I think it was last week. We had a watch-along with Halloween 2, the original from 1981. Maybe that's what I'll do next. I'm not too sure. But I had to get this off my chest. Present day, 1980, June 13th, is when Pamela Voorhees died. she did not die in 1979, as the tombstone in the final chapter, part 4, would have you believe. That is a mistake, and you can buy replicas. Somewhere online you can buy replicas of the tombstone. You can buy it. At rest, Pamela Voorhees, at rest, 19 blah blah blah, with the dash 1979. It's wrong. It's completely wrong. Anyway, guys, had to get that off my chest, and thanks very much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you all again very soon, and take care of yourselves. And my next video, I don't know. It could be a watch along video, it may not be, but we'll see. Cheers, guys.